And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel. One of my favorite games is Mage Wars Academy, the smaller, I think, more easily accessible version of Mage Wars. And so we're taking a look at some of the new packs for this set. I'm reviewing two in this video and two in another video that's going up the same day. The two I'm taking a look at here are the Necromancer, Ruler of Death, and the Druid, Ruler of Life. So let's see how both of these play out. I'll show you some of the cards that come in both of these sets. You don't have to use the cards with the set it comes with. Again, with this game, you can build anything you want. Here's how they work. Okay, so let's take a look first at the Necromancer here. Tet. He comes with some rot, melee, and charge tokens. So his special ability here is that once per round, when an enemy living creature is destroyed, you can remove 2 damage from a mummy creature you control. Also, as a Necromancer, he can use dark spells and his specific spells, or Jet, whatever. Holy spells cost triple, though. Well, so you're probably not going to be using healing spells anyway with this guy. So this guy is great with mummies. He can heal mummies. I don't even know how that works. He comes with a Scepter of Undeath. That basically says when an undead creature in your zone activates, you can pay 2 mana. If you do, they get 2 extra attack dice. And if they're a mummy, reduce the cost of this ability by 1. So this is a really good, if you're taking him, you're taking this. You're also taking the Embalmed, which is one of the coolest monsters in the game at this point. This, you can basically, you remove somebody from someone else's discard pile, a creature that's died, they come back, and they are the exact same creature, except they're also a mummy. That's really cool. I really like that ability, like, ooh, you had that really cool eagle, mummy eagle. There's also other mummies in the deck. We have, kind of a normal one that once it's damaged, it does an extra die of attack back. The Plagued Voidwalker, when it's damaged, it gets +4 to its effect roll here, where it can cause rot here, which takes a damage during upkeep. We have the Priest, which heals mummies. Again, not sure how that works. We have the Mummified Swordmaster, who can do double strike. And then you have the main giant mummy here, the Matesis, the Fallen Pharaoh, who can basically make the mummies around him take damage instead. So you got a lot of choices with mummies. There's other creatures besides mummies here. We got an orc here. We have a ghost pirate, which is cool because it's a ghost pirate. We have this non-living creature here, not a mummy per se, but you can use this one, also use it with the other Necromancers. The Dark Fen Rat here. If there's another rat in a zone, he gets piercing +2, so kind of like a swarm type creature. And the Plague Spirit here, a legendary creature. Minor creatures cannot target this. Creatures with psychic immunity ignore this effect. So just kind of like a big spirit moving around. And Zyro the Impassable, who isn't necessarily a dark creature per se, but I guess you can use this. This is one of the things, well, if you want to use this in another deck, you got to buy this deck itself. Then he has a bunch of other spells that do things here. During the upkeep phase, you put this on someone. All creatures in the zone take 1 poison damage. That's Stench of Death. So you put this on, I put this on a minor character and then move them around. Terrifying Visage, Unholy Reversal. So you're going to heal somebody? Nope. Instead, you take damage. Again, this is a fun deck to play against a holy or light deck here. Cowardice, they can't make a melee attack. Curse of Servitude, this one's fun. When this creature attacks, its controller has to put 2 damage on it or attack a friendly creature. That's right. This is actually one of my favorite spells. Curse of Weakness, Terrifying Visage, Unholy, well, we already saw Unholy Reversal. Abyssal Sacrifice here. This is for Dark Mage. Destroy a target creature, then pick a friendly dark creature and put a melee +1 marker on it and remove damage from it equal to the level of the destroyed creature. It's kind of a terrifying thing to do. Again, the Necromancer isn't the kindest of wizards. This one's just called Fizzle, which I like here. And you can turn an enchantment face down and you lose mana equal to its level. So that's kind of a neat thing. You were going to hit me with that? Nope. It fizzled. Ritual of Kalik, Crumble, where you can get rid of equipment. Siphon Life, of course, just taking life from your opponent. Soul Harvest, destroy a creature and heal damage from your mage equal to twice its level. It has to be a minor living creature, but still. Then we have a couple more weapons. I showed you one already. Ramsey's Black Death here, which essentially you can take, hit all the living creatures in your zone for damage and heal. If you're being swarmed, this is good. Soul Reaper is kind of cool, where it like hits you though when you use it though. And if you're level 5 or higher, it does an extra die, but this particular wizard is not 5 or higher. And then Unholy Armor, where basically when you cast it, all corporal creatures you control receive 1 direct damage. But if you don't have many corporal creatures, who cares? So all in all, you can see this guy's all about death, destruction, hurting himself a little bit, but hurting the enemy much, much worse. The Druid comes with some armor, rot, corrosive tokens here. So the Druid's special ability here, kind of the opposite of the Necromancer, he's about life. Can use nature magic and level water 1 spells. Fire and War cost triple spell points, even if they're novice, fine. So don't use Fire or War. This says once per round when you cast a potion, you can pay a mana to put an additional charge token on it. So potions, here's a potion for example. Here's a couple potions. When these come into play, you put 3 charge tokens on it. You can do things with them. When all the charge tokens are gone, it's gone. This essentially means the Druid has unlimited potions. There's only 3 potions included in this deck, but there's several copies of each if you want to use them. But again, they are unlimited. I don't know if it's like an amazing special ability, but this one here, you can target someone, gets a melee +1. I like the rage token. This one here, you can put corrode tokens on enemy creatures. And the cleansing potion here, you can remove poison if it hits you. Also, you have kind of 2 opposite spells here. Reclamation, where you put this on this conjuration receives 2 direct damage when you put this out. And this one here, you put it on a creature, and they get life +2 and melee +1. And if they're a plant, the reveal cost of overgrowth is reduced by 1. So this is especially good for plants, but kind of like hurt someone, help someone. Couple of attacks here, both the 1 nature, 1 water. This one here, spikes, double strike, and piercing. This is a sweeping acid blast, which can do corrode damage. We also have disperse and crumble, which you've already seen here. Crumble that hit the opponent's equipment. Some items here that are not potions, a blowgun, well, it's okay, range attack. And then a living armor, which can only go on a Druid. And whenever you get hit, you can remove 1 here, and it adds 2 tokens to it. So whenever you're attacked and damaged, you remove an armor +1 token from this. At the same time, it's consistently adding to it. So it's kind of a neat armor. Again, it works for Druids. Couple conjurations here that are, these, again, more nature stuff here. This one's interesting. It gives you 5 mana after basically 3 tokens have been removed. So you drop 2 to get 5 later on. Kind of a countdown thing. I'm not a huge fan of these, especially since they can be destroyed. But if you drop a couple of these, you can get some, like a big boost later on. A healing tree, which does what it sounds like. Alluring orchid. And then lots and lots of creatures. So we have ants and bees. These are elusive with swarm. These are flying with swarm. So I like them. They're both fairly inexpensive, but also pretty easy to take out. We have a swamp serpent and a swamp snapper here. The serpent can cause rot. We also have a frog and a falcon, elusive and flying. And the frog has reach. It must be a pretty giant frog. We have an owl and a rat here. And the more rats there are, +1 melee, so another kind of swarm type creature. Creatures in this zone can't be healed. I guess this owl just messes with you. Also, you'll notice this owl is dark. So you could use this one in the Necromancer deck if you want, which I would. Here, this guy gets double strike when he has damage on him. You also have some flowers here. This here, after making a biting attack, place a stagger condition on it. Flame attacks do an extra 2 dice. So yeah, it takes damage here, but it's pretty cheap. It only costs 4 to bring this one out. This one's a little bit bigger and has Regenerate 2. Speaking of Regenerate 2, the Swamp Lurker. Really like this guy here. 1 armor, 8 health, regenerates 2, does 3 attack. They're just fun to come around. And then the gigantic Jungle Defender. When he hits a flying creature, you do an extra 2 attack. So if your opponent does have flying creatures, this is a good one to have in your spellbook. So both of these are fine, they're good. On a personal level, the Druid is someone I would play with once in a while. I do like all the creatures, right? So I'd be like, yeah, I get to use lots of creatures. The potion thing, that's interesting, but I really like the Necromancer. This is so weird because I normally am not a fan of, like, in Magic, I don't normally play the black creatures and stuff. I don't know, I just like skeletons and mummies. So the fact that this guy's a bunch of mummies is neat, you know, the fact that he can heal his mummies and they come after you in different ways. I get a kick out of that, okay? It seems like a minor thing, but being able to consistently heal your mummies, come after your opponent, is something I really enjoy about the Necromancer. So both of these packs are pretty good. This is giving a lot more variety to Mage Wars Academies now. There's a lot of packs, and you can pick and choose the cards and mix them between all of them. And so I think both these guys, you know, they give two very different feels to them. I think people will enjoy both of them. I just tend to like my mummies. Dice Tower Judgment, approved!